Well, it's that time again. Everyone's favorite segment, Holtzford's Highlights. Let's check out the best of the best from this past week's high school sports action from around the state of Alabama. We begin this week's highlights with a key Class 6A Region 5 football battle in Jefferson County with Gardendale, undefeated in Class 6A Region 5, traveling to Minor. We check in on the action with Rockets quarterback Tyler Nelson, once again having a super night. He's shown here running for nearly 200 yards and scoring 3 touchdowns, making a number of defenders miss as he cruises into the end zone. The Rockets improved to 5-2 overall and 4-0 in Region 5 with a 34-14 win, and Minor falls to 2-2 in the region. We head next to another Jefferson County rivalry battle between McAdory and Hueytown. What was expected to be a down-to-the-wire battle in Class 6A Region 4 was all that and more. Gopher senior quarterback and strong candidate for Alabama Mr. Football this season, Earl Wood, shown here, had another big night, finishing with 170 yards rushing and 101 yards passing, while accounting for 4 touchdowns overall. Hueytown needed that kind of effort and more to escape with a 32-27 win. Woods, who verbally committed to Jacksonville State last week, has led his team to 3 straight wins and a 4-1 record in Region 4. The Yellow Jackets fell to 3-2 in region play. Moving down to nearby Shelby County, we catch up with Calera and Briarwood Christian locked in a wild triple overtime Class 6A Region 3 battle at Briarwood. We pick up on the action in the 3rd overtime with Eagles place kicker TJ Hernandez lining up to attempt a 27-yard field goal to decide the outcome. He kicks the ball through the uprights to give Calera a 31-28 win in the first meeting between these two schools on the gridiron in 30 years. The Lions won 26-24 in 1993, but Calera took an important region win in 2022 to keep their playoff hopes alive. We remain in Class 6A Region 3 with highlights from a Thursday game last week between Pelham and Benjamin Russell at Alexander City's Sportsplex, Martin Savarese Stadium. With both teams needing a win to heighten their playoff hopes, the Wildcats would start quickly with this touchdown pass from Gabe Benton to Corey Milliner. Pelham roars back, however, with a strong second half as Kamari Hollis scores 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. The Panthers win this one 30-20 to improve to 4-3 on the season and 3-1 in the region. The Wildcats fall to 2-2. Traveling south to Butler County, we pick up on top-ranked Elba taking on the Panthers in Class 1A Region 2. The Tigers, 7-0, trying to remain undefeated, turned to running back sensation Alvin Henderson, who has 30 touchdowns on the season, and he responded with a monster effort while providing this highlight reel. He rushed for 383 yards on 26 carries and scored 4 touchdowns, with 2 of his scores covering 68 and 90 yards, and Elba rolled to a 62-28 win and improved to 5-0 in region play. Check out this last touchdown. The Tigers dip into their bag of trickery and score on this fake field goal. Moving to North Alabama, we pick up Muscle Shoals and Decatur in a key Class 6A Region 7 contest at Shorty Ogle Stadium. We find unbeaten Decatur leading 14-0, but Muscle Shoals is closing fast. The Trojans' Cole Woods throws a quick pass to Bryant Basden, who scores for Muscle Shoals. Now, later in the game, with the score tied 14-14, the Trojans block their 2nd punt of the night. Zaylewin Fuqua scoops up the loose ball and rambles into the end zone for the go-ahead score, and Muscle Shoals goes on to win 42-28 while handing the Red Raiders 6-1, their first loss. Both teams are now 3-1 in region play and trail Hartselle, which is 4-0 in the region and hosts Decatur Friday night. Moving to Class 4A Region 8, we check in once again as Wildcat junior quarterback Brandon Mush has another big night, accounting for 572 yards and 9 touchdowns as Westminster beats Madison County 70-42 on Thursday night. Brandon had 406 yards passing and 166 yards rushing, fired 5 touchdown passes and rushed for 4 more scores as he continues to move up the AHSAA career passing and total offense chart. Westminster improved to 5-2 overall and 4-1 in Region 8, with region co-leader Priceville this week and New Hope October 21st. A win over either team will clinch a playoff berth for the Wildcats. We close with Cherokee County taking on Curry High School in volleyball action. The Warriors win this match 2-0 thanks in big part to middle hitter Neve Giadurgis landing one of her 11 kills in the match. Teammate Ella Garmany added 6 and Macy Leah added 21 assists for Cherokee County, 28-23, heading into this week's AHSAA area tournament action to kick off the 2022 state playoffs. And as usual, we close this week with WOTM highlights from last week's AHSAA TV Weekly Game of the Week featuring West Alabama Class 3A Region 5 rivals Gordo and Fayette County.
And a big night tonight on senior night at Green Wave Stadium in Gordo as that young man quarterback Brax Garrison led his team to an impressive 35-0 win over rival Fayette County. Coach Gus Smith getting the Gatorade shower and everything tonight. This was some type of game from Gordo's perspective. Coming in, Coach, these two teams looked evenly matched on paper. It didn't play out that way on the field.
Not at all. You know, after that initial drive that Fayette County will get to start the game, not much went right for the Tigers as Gordo is going to control the line of scrimmage. They're going to stop this initial drive once it gets into the red zone and really will never look back after this. I think this is the 4th down play right here. And from there on, this is a pretty good microcosm of the night right there. As this big, strong young man, Brax Garrison, is going to have some kind of night.
He came in with some pretty impressive numbers, and he definitely added to those tonight. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. He had a passing touchdown, and just really his command of the game was what was so impressive. And you know, Fayette County, Coach, they just didn't have an answer for him tonight. Now, this young man, Charles Grant, he was the one bright spot for Fayette County offensively.
Yeah, he really was. And, I mean, he played much bigger than his 150 pounds. Very tough, hard-nosed runner with good speed right here, but just too much Gordo. I tell you, I look at Gordo, great quarterback play, outstanding defense, shut out a team, again, that averages 45 points a game, and speed at lots of positions.
Really the only mistake of the game for Garrison here is he threw the interception, but Max Stevenson goes up with his length and gets it right back, and this was really the key turning point in the first half. It was only 7-0 at this point. Fayette County was driving. Instead, it goes the other way. They get it down to the 1-yard line, and then they get the touchdown.
Yeah, you know, their defense was so impressive in about every way that a defense can be impressive, and then the speed takes over in the second half. Great example right here. Willie Fonville avoids the first tackler and then just shows his heels to the Tiger defense. And another very, very impressive performance.
Fayette County had some bright moments even in the second half, Coach, but 4th down was their bugaboo tonight. They had several 4th down opportunities to keep drives going when they were still within striking distance, and they just couldn't execute on 4th down tonight. And here, the second interception for Johnson.
Well, when that Green Wave defense was not harassing the running game, they were picking off passes. Just a real dominating defense. Another 4th down stop there, and another, folks that know that's not a replay, that is another yet touchdown run by Garrison, and now he points to the ring finger. You know what they're looking for.
It's the kind of night it was for Fayette County, unable to just getting the bad bounce there on the kickoff. This young man, Lark, had a really good night running the ball, as well as Gordo really looking like a championship contender the way they played tonight, as they are definitely in control of Region 5 after this one. I want to take you back to halftime. When we talked to you briefly, you were up 14-0. We mentioned that you dominated the first half. You said, not yet, guys. Well, you dominated this football game, Coach. You got to admit that now.
I got to admit that now for sure, and that's what I told them at halftime too. It's not over with because, you know, we were up 13-6 versus Bibb, and that game got out of hand, you know, and we were on the wrong side of that. And then with the Winfield game, it was 14-13 us, and ended up being 49-42. So I remind them of those things, and you know, we did a great job at halftime. You know, their adjustments, they came out and did a couple of different things, and man, I'm so proud of our guys.
Coach, you know, you shut out a team that's been averaging 45 points a game. Just talk to us a little bit about your defense, the game plan, just some stuff about your defense.
Yeah, we knew we had to stop, you know, their running game. We felt like they were going to get in that H-back set and try to run it at us. So, you know, we did a lot of things up front to mix them up and disguise our coverages in the back there. Hey, and we got good players, and that always helps. So we just get them lined up right and, you know, let them tackle. And like I said, we got good players, and they played hard tonight.
Coach, the young man we're showing on the screen right now, your quarterback, what a night for Brax Garrison. Just talk about what he's done for you.
Yeah, I think he's got to be mentioned in that 3A Player of the Year right now. Every time he touches the ball, I say it all the time. I yell it to him, and you know, he's got to be mentioned in it. And you know, I think if we finish business and, you know, make a run deep in the playoffs, I think he'll have an opportunity for that. But he means a lot to our team. He's the biggest guy out there, so we got to put the ball in his hands and see if people can tackle him. And that was kind of the game plan tonight. And you know, catch it and run forward. And I've seen a lot of Piedmont, so he reminds me of Jack Hayes at Piedmont a little bit.
Well, Coach, just a great performance by your guys. We want to congratulate you. Next week, got another tough one. I think you guys got to go on the road, I think.
Yeah, we're going to Oakman, and it's never tough at Oakman. I've been up there one time back in 2016, and it wasn't an easy place to play. And you know, those guys get after it, and they're always big, and so it should be a good one.
Well, Coach, we want to again congratulate you on the win. I don't know going in if anybody saw this coming on either side, but this is a pretty big win for you. A lot of people around the state are going to take notice of the way your team played tonight. You're not going to sneak up in on anybody if you would have anyway.
Yeah, I agree. You know, going into it, we thought we could win it, but I didn't think it'd be 35-0. I would have taken 35-34, but you know, our kids work hard. I've said it from the day one since I got here. I've never seen kids work this hard, and they deserve it. And so I'm just so proud of them and so proud of the Green Wave community up here. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Congratulations, Coach. We're going to look forward to watching you down the stretch. I can guarantee you that, and into the postseason.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys coming and doing this. It's awesome for us.
All right, congratulations. Gordo, big winners tonight, and their coach joining us here at halftime, Coach Gus Smith, getting the Gatorade bat here. We were stalling so they could get set up and get in place, right, Coach?
Hey, we had to do our part.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of AHSAA TV Weekly. Don't forget to catch this week's Game of the Week tomorrow night. We'll be in Class 7A Region 8 with Sparkman at Huntsville, and send us those highlights. As always, remember to practice good sportsmanship at all Alabama high school athletic events. We'll see you next week.